We like.
We're going to open with the. Just kidding. Words are up. I wonder who put the words up.
We've been practicing because the staff, because we're going to sing to the new council.
I remember that.
Radio council.
Not singing to you, I'd go.
Singing to yourself.
We are live. Righto, call to order. 2 o'clock, we'll get the extraordinary meeting on the way. So welcome everyone, extraordinary meeting to really just deal with one issue on the agenda, that of the CEO resignation. Open the meeting at 2:01. One is apologies. We have an apology from Ned Talfi, the iwi representative today. Everyone else is here. Somebody move, we receive that. Move deputy, second Councillor Montgomery. All those in favour? Any against? Carried. Thank you. Agenda item 2, are there any members who wish to declare a financial or non-financial interest in the single agenda item we're dealing with today?
I wonder how you'd actually have one.
There should be none to declare. So I move that there are none to declare. Seconded Councillor Nah. All those in favour? Any against? Carried. Unanimous. Right, agenda item 3 is the to deal with the letter of resignation and way forward for the Chief Executive Officer recruitment. So Deputy Mayor and myself, obviously the report speaks for itself, but received Sharon's resignation last week, and after having a discussion with councillors, agreed to bring a paper to you, and the agreement reflects the recommendations that are in front of you in this paper. And again, it's unfortunate timing in terms of the outgoing council and the ability to act in any way that binds the future council. So I think these recommendations mainly acknowledge the receipt of the resignation, agree the end date and the handling of that, and set some train at least some pre-work for the new council to consider when they have their first meeting in October. I anticipate there'll be those RFPs from suitable recruitment firms will be able to be considered by that council, so they're then ready to push go on it if they wish, to minimise the time that council will be, in a recruitment uncertainty phase. And likewise with any decision on an formally appointing an acting CE, that will sit with the new council, because they've got a few months in order to do, 2 months in order to do that before Sharon actually leaves the building. So any questions on the paper, either myself or Deputy are happy to answer them. Councillor Rutherford.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. My question is just in relation to the proposal to go out and seek expressions of interest. We're nominating 4. Would it be appropriate to actually speak to who those people are, who we're going to seek this interest from? I am a little bit interested. I mean, we've obviously used in the past Keith Marshall. We've also used at one stage the services provided from LGNZ, and I'm a bit unfamiliar with the others. So just wondering whether we should have a discussion on who we might be seeking to provide these proposals.
Yep, we can do. So the intention is to go out to 4. Both of those ones were on the list. The only reason we didn't name them in here, we thought maybe there was some commercial sensitivity around naming them in this paper. Deputy, you got any further?
No, you're right. That's why we didn't put them in, is because I guess if anyone was of a mind, a recruiting agency that had been approached, they would clearly be able to see who the others were that were also being approached. That's why we didn't name them. We did seek some advice on that, and the advice came back that perhaps it would be best not to put the actual names of the 4 recruiting places in, but I'm happy to I'm a bit ambivalent. It's not.
Yeah, I would agree with the advice. It's probably not wise to. It's not necessarily normal to, but you can, with the company's position afterwards, if they're happy to, you can advise that you've approached particular companies. But I guess the key point is giving the future council an array of different organisations the opportunity for them to choose from.
Or not.
Or not.
Councillor.
So I might have already put you in an awkward situation because I have said that I've nominated two, and you both confirmed that those people will be on that list. We've got a reporter in the room, so that's now out there. So we're halfway down to this potentially road of being compromised. And I guess my sort of real underlying question is, how do we know that these are the people best suited for that? Or isn't there some way we can actually go out and ask for expressions of interest and so cover those people who, for all we know, might provide an excellent service that we're not even going to consider?
I think there's there's a particular group of recruiters who are quite prominent in terms of their ability to support councils to recruit CEs, and I think those companies might be reasonably well known. So the advice that the deputy mayor had, and not from me, is around, who those high calibre companies are.
So we sought some independent advice or outside counsel, and we were given a list of potential companies that would be, ideal or appropriate or interested in running a recruitment for us. So the RFP, it is literally an RFP. They will give their pitch, and the future council will decide whether we like the proposal from this crowd or not, or another crowd, or none of them. We want to try going out for some broader thing, but it'll give them a pretty good slice. 4 prices, four methodologies will give the new council a fairly good feel as to where the market would sit, I would think. We're talking mainstream mostly. Councillor Hawes.
Yeah, and I'd agree. I mean, I've been through a number of these processes now in my time on council, and there's no such thing as any guarantees around the quality of what you're going to be provided by these different companies. And I get the feeling that the bigger some of these companies get, the less personal involvement they put into it anyway. And let's face it, look at Christchurch City Council and the latest fiasco over there that an employment agency's put them through in terms of their CEO that they appointed to the council controlled trading organisation. I mean, it's literally, there's possibilities that you can go wrong with any of these people.
So I think the rationale here was certainly in my head anyway, and why I sought the support of you to go down this road was we're heading into probably what's going to be a couple of months of beating in a new council, whoever that is, and it just seems a couple of months wasted that none of this process could even be started to at least get some quotes and prices and proposals in as to what would be a way forward to recruit. So this way, if we pass this today, then it basically empowers staff then to go out and seek these proposals and bring a report as early as possible to the new council. And again, it's not a binding report. It'll just be this is some legwork that's been done in the background. And if they like the idea of the proposal, they can choose one and get it underway.
Or step back to the start and do it
or step back to the
themselves.
start and do it themselves, or go to different companies.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. Look, you've answered my question. My real question was, should we be nominating them? That's all. You've answered that question. Thank you.
Further?
Sorry. Just to back up. Just to back up. Well, I'm aware of the time, and I know how this.
He carried on right to the very end.
No, so just to back up Councillor Hawes' saying, mistakes can always be made, and we're well aware of the news today about the newly appointed CEO of Essendon Football Club in Australia. He lasted 1 day.
It gets worse.
So Well, if there's no further questions or discussion, I'll look to someone other than myself or deputy to move into. We'll do them one at a time if you want, or you want to do all six.
I'll move them as written.
As written,
I'll second that.
1 through 6. Seconded, moved councillor Nah, seconded councillor Bowden. I'm happy for that to be done that way. Any further discussion, questions? Any against? That's unanimous. Thank you very much. And once again, acknowledge CE and the discussions myself and deputy have had to negotiate the outcome. It's in the recommendations. Cool. With that, thank you. Close the ordinary meeting at 2:11.
It wouldn't have been the same in the